mai hara mai e te iwi, and welcome to another episode of The Verdict. Now this week, finally, we have the NRL kicking off for 2021, so you can pretty much guess what we will be talking about today. Now, discussion number one, we will of course be looking at our Warriors. The question is 2021 going to be the year of the Warriors? And then discussion number two, we're taking it a bit forward into the future with the inevitable RTS leaving the Warriors. Where will that money go? Now, to give us some informed expert opinion, we have a great panel here for you today. First up, Goran, Paladin, Sky Sport presenter.
Rav, I'm not the great part of the panel. I think the great part of the panel is sitting alongside me. 331 first grade games in the NRL, 15 years.
Mind
Adam
games,
Blair.
Mind games.
He's already started. I'm in trouble already.
It's what we call mental disintegration. I'm just trying to get in that brain of yours, and hopefully I come away with a 2-0 win.
Yes. And of course, Goran's already said it. Adam, welcome to the table.
Thanks, Rav. Appreciate it. I'm excited. I'll give it a crack and see how we go against the man himself, Goran.
Oh, the man. Stop it. It's great to have you here, mate. Really looking forward to it.
Now, also, in addition, I find this very, very interesting because you're both hosting Warriors TV this year. So this is going to be setting the pace for the rest of the year, I reckon.
That's right. I suppose it's almost like a preview, if you like.
Well, you better be good, Goran, because... you know, we've got a long year together, and we're talking about Warriors all year.
Mate, I just feel really sorry for this guy because, you know, he's traded the likes of Jazz Tavanga, Tohu Harris, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck for me. That's a serious downgrade for you, and I apologise in advance.
I'm on the other side now, so it's okay. I'll let it slide.
When you put it that way, Goran.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into it, let me just lay down the law, per se. So first of all, I will reiterate what those questions will be, and you'll give a quick statement as to which side of the fence you will be on. Then you will have the opportunity to really delve into your argument and state why with reasons or your own research as to why you think you are correct. Feel free to rebut if you don't agree with what each other are saying, which I'm guessing could possibly happen.
Might.
But let's just keep it clean fight.
Yeah, look, I don't want any trouble from him. Just a good, honest discussion.
Yeah, cool. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Ka pai. Let's get into it. So case number one. Is 2021 the year for the Warriors?
Go on, mate. Kick it off.
That's the old cliche.
It's the Warriors' year.
It's the Warriors' year. I'm going to say it's the Warriors' year. I'm going to stick with the Warriors. I think, that's the Warriors' year. Let's go.
Far out. I'm going to say they've got an amazing squad. I'm looking top 8 definitely. They'll force their way into the playoffs, possibly top 6, but I think it's just it's a bridge too far to suggest that 2021 will be the year the Warriors win the NRL Grand Final.
Very political answer there, Goran.
Thank you, Rav.
Well done.
Been working on that. I was looking in the mirror earlier, just trying to work on the delivery.
Trying to say safe.
Yeah.
Staying safe, staying in your lane.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't hit it too hard because we're going to talk about Warriors, like I said, all year.
Mate, top 8 would be pretty good for them.
Nice
top 6 would be great.
Okay, guys, let's get
You're
into
not going to win it.
You guys are getting in trouble. Anyway. Okay, who's going to tee us off?
Go on, Blair.
I'm going to start off. Surely you start off.
Okay, all right.
Because you're on the negative side.
Yeah, well, I suppose. not that I'm being negative. I'm trying to be a realist about things. And when you look at the Warriors, I suppose when you add up whether they're going to do well or not, you look both inwardly and outwardly. First of all, let's look inwardly. As I say, great squad. I think we can all agree on that. But they do have a major concern for me is the hooker role. Obviously, Carl Lawton out with a long-term injury, buggered his Achilles, and so you've only got one frontline hooker in Wade Egan. He injured himself in the trial against the Gold Coast. Yes, he's okay to play in the first round match, but what happens when his luck runs out, and how do they rejig that position? Do they have the strength? Do they have the backup behind him in order to do a good job? And I'm thinking they're going to have to move someone like Jazz Tavanga into the 9 jersey, and he doesn't want to play 9.
Have you spoken to him?
In the past, yes, I have. At Radio Sport, I have spoken to him. He doesn't like 9. He wants to play 13. He wants to be that pit bull terrier ripping into people's ankles, and he can't do that from 9. And so I think that, yeah, that's a concern for me. And another sort of what if or hypothetical is we don't actually know what a Nathan Brown coach side is going to be like and how the players will respond to him. And what happens when the going gets tough with a couple of back-to-back losses and backs against the wall, and how does Nathan respond and how do the players respond to him? You can go.
Nice. Nice, Goran.
Did I scare you?
Yeah, you did actually. Yeah, all right. I'm just going to give us a crack.
My kid's scared of me as well, but that's another story.
Okay, so I said they're going to win the total. But a lot of things got to go their way for them to win the total. I think they're an outside chance. Like you said earlier, great squad on paper, yet to perform on the field and consistently throughout the season. So obviously consistency is a massive thing for every Warriors team that have been gone in the past. So this year is really important. I also think that they need to have their top 17 to 25 players available and healthy throughout the season. So keeping your most consistent team and your most, I guess, your high performance team on the field to give themselves a chance to be playing consistent footy, to be able to contest for the title. The one I think where they can most probably narrow their focus a little bit, I guess their focus at the moment is their 3-month period away from New Zealand, which doesn't look like they're coming back. But I think for me, if they can narrow their focus down to, say, 4-week periods where they look at every game individually for your first 4 weeks and you tick off every small box on the teams that you're playing. So if it's the Titans first, you look at your team, you have honest conversations about you guys and how confident and how much belief you have in the team where you can win that game. Yes, I definitely think they can beat the Titans. Then they go into the second game. Can you win that game? Yes. Then I think they've got a Canberra and a Manly team as well in there. So I definitely think they can narrow their focus down to small little goals that will help them in the long term of the season. Their first 10 rounds are probably the most important 10 rounds of their season where they can try and win games as much as they can. So having that narrow focus, not looking at the 10 games, but looking at your first month of games. So I guess, if you can win 3 of the 4, that's 3 wins in your first 4 games. The next round, you look at your next 4. Can you win, 2 of those? That's 5 wins already. You've clocked up, 5 wins, maybe 6 wins. You might jag up against a Canberra team that's pretty hot. You might jag a win there. You never know. So just having little mini focuses for the year. I also think that they're better prepared this year for what's ahead of them.
That's true.
So they know what's expected. They've definitely separated rugby league and their life of being a footballer or a professional athlete away from their home life. So their training grounds and their facilities are 20 minutes away from the Star of the Sea, which as a player keeps you, I guess, fresh in the mind. It takes you away from work life all the time. Then you come home to, obviously everyone's got their family over there. There are a few young boys which will be enjoying their time. They're not wanting to come home to New Zealand because they're just young and they're just enjoying their time over there. So they're happy. That helps when it comes to playing football as a professional athlete. I've been in their shoes, and when players and team morale is up, your performance seems to be better. And obviously, just being better equipped for the 2021 season. Again, like I said earlier, I think they're a chance of winning, the title, and I think they'll go close to doing it with the squad they have. RTS is pumped. We're going to see the best of RTS this year, and I think you're going to see a lot more running through the middle. I know that is obviously his passing game's not the best game, but the style of football has changed from what it used to be, so it's more of a running role for him. So he's going to be at his best because he's going to want to leave the NRL on the best foot. So he's pumped, and he'll bring the group up because he's the energy man. He's the guy that leads the boys. He's the captain, and every game he goes out there, he's going to put on a show for the Warriors and a show for the NRL to say this is what I'm going to leave you with, the legacy that he's going to leave behind. So I think they're definitely a chance of winning the title.
Okay, gentlemen. The one thing that's really stood out to me in your guys' arguments is the fact that, Adam, when you talk about you need to have the belief, you need to have the connection, you need to be out there and playing for each other. And I think when you're at a stage of the season when you're all at the start line, if you don't have that, then you've already shot yourself in the foot. And I think it's too early to say that they won't make it. We've seen the Warriors probably not get the desired results over the last few seasons. And if you don't change anything, you're going to get those same results. And I think Nathan Brown has a great opportunity here to bring some success to the club, to show a different way of going about things, and really putting, a team who are hungry to succeed and do their country proud, playing in another country, on an even keel with those Australian teams. I think they are a great chance. You talk about players and, that we need help in certain areas or need to improve in certain areas. I 100% agree with that. But at the beginning of the season, without the season having started yet, I think the Warriors are every chance of succeeding this year. So, Adam, that's your point.
What the hell? Oh, okay. I was confident in my argument, but well done, Adam.
Thank you.
So the Warriors are going to win the grand final this year?
I'm not saying that they will or won't. What I'm saying is that
I thought that was the question, Rav.
This is the year. This is the year that they can succeed.
This is the year.
This is the year that this can be their year, and I think it's too early to say it won't be.
Okay, all right. Well, fast forward 6 or 7 months, and if the Warriors have won, then you guys are just geniuses.
Then I'm going to have to. No.
Yeah. Retraction issued in October, please.
Okay. And whānau at home, remember, if you have anything that you'd like to say on the matter, do you think that this is the Warriors' year? Leave a comment below.
We didn't even get to talk about Parramatta. I mean, they're going to be great again as well.
You didn't even put them in your top 4. You said the 3 teams.
I said Penrith, the incumbent top 4.
Penrith,
I said
Storm,
the incumbent top 4, Adam.
Rabbitohs,
blank.
Maybe Raiders before Greg. Craig, and
I should have said
Craig, and then you didn't even say Parramatta at all. You didn't even give them a mention.
Because look, I didn't want to involve bias, so I just wanted to exhibit how strong other teams in the competition might be, and how tough the Warriors are going to find it.
See, it's that team again that's getting along through the ladder quietly. Going to business.
All of a sudden, the Eels are second. Oh, hey! They'll be all right.
Left them out.
Okay, let's get into case number 2.
Yes.
After missing out on Jerome Hughes, where would you like to see the Warriors spend their RTS money when he eventually leaves?
Do you want this one first?
Yeah, I'll give it a crack.
Yeah.
This is most probably a hard one. I think this is most probably one of the hardest questions that is asked, and most probably one that the club need to think really hard about, I think, as an organisation. Roger is going to leave a big mark at that club and a big hole to fill. Yes, we've got some young kids that could play fullback. Are they ready? I don't think so yet. Do they need game time? Yes, but when are they going to get that? So I'm thinking they're going to spend their money on a fullback.
On a fullback, so it's like for you. Okay. Who? Give us a name before I say what I'm going to say.
No.
Oh.
No.
It's a mystery man. The silhouette guy, in the NRL profiles. It's like we can't find a picture of him. Just a silhouette.
I'm going to say Joseph Manu.
So Joey Manu plays fullback for the Warriors. Okay. That'd be pretty cool. I'm going to say the Warriors don't go like for like. They don't replace a fullback with a fullback. We spoke earlier about the one issue that we perceive the Warriors to have as we lead into the season, and it's at hooker. Wade Egan's obviously got he's got a great chance to show his wares in the early rounds, but I don't think he's not cut from the same cloth as your Cameron Smiths, your Damien Cooks. I reckon we need the Warriors to go in search of Brandon Smith. Get a top quality hooker, and he would be the guy. And Brandon's got the opportunity to play in round 1 against the Rabbitohs because Harry Grant's injured, but I think that Harry is the preferred option to start at 9, and Brandon would be limited to a bench role. So I would say get that RTS cash and throw it at Brandon and get him back to New Zealand.
Nice.
You can talk about Joey now.
Am I talking about? What about Brandon? I don't think he's.
Oh, you don't. Oh, you wouldn't get Brandon?
I don't think he's coming. I don't think he'll come.
But would you want him? I suppose that's more the hypothetical that we're discussing.
Can I suggest who I would think would be
In that position.
instead?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
If obviously I've gone for Joseph Manu as fullback. If I had it my way and I was a coach or a selector or a person that selects players that come to the club, I would love to move Cody to 9. I would love to move Cody to 9. I think he is, when you talk about cut from the same cloth, I think he could be better than Damien Cook. I think his agility, his footwork, his passing from both sides, right and left, is second to none. I think with time that he could make that position his own. I think when obviously he's a half where they're obviously not getting, well, they get a little bit of traffic, but they're going to get a lot more traffic through the middle. I think the squad that they have around the Warriors is big enough to help him defend that. And today's day and age, there's not many one-on-one tackles through the middle. You're kind of working as a team there, and that's how structures are worked. Otherwise, if Cody wouldn't move and the team didn't want to move Cody, I would go for Josh Hodgson from Canberra.
Right.
Who is most probably behind Cameron Smith, one of the craftiest 9s in the game, I think. Sees the game really well. And he plays on the back of a Canberra forward back who is obviously quality, but chooses the right options similar to Cameron Smith. Plays a nice, direct, really, like I said before, really skillful, crafty, and runs when ready. And if you sit on the back of Adam Whanua-Blake or Ben Murdoch-Masila or Tanua Brown, those kind of guys, the world's your oyster.
Oh,
the world's your oyster.
Sounds lovely.
Great, Josh Hodgson. So yeah, that's where I sit when it comes to the 9.
okay. It's an interesting one though, because much like Joey Manu playing centre for the Roosters, you're taking a chance on a guy who hasn't played a lot of first grade fullback and then signing him in a fullback role. We have seen a modicum of success, I suppose you can say, for somebody like Latrell Mitchell, who played a lot of centre and now he's doing really well at fullback. So maybe Joey Manu does the same. But with Cody Nikorima playing predominantly as a half, does he then want to play dummy half? I don't know. And then the other thing that you need to consider with Cody is, will he be around next year? Because there could be not a mass exodus, but an exodus of players. Obviously, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck goes to the Blues. We don't know what Tohu Harris is doing. We don't know what Cody Nikorima is doing. So whether he's there or not, who knows? I suppose that's a question for Cameron George and the recruitment officers at the Warriors. But I like the idea of Brandon Smith because, one, he's a good hooker and he wants to play that position full time, and 2, he's a Kiwi boy. And we're losing a lot of New Zealand talent if what I say comes to fruition and RTS is gone, Tohu's gone, Cody's gone. And so to have somebody who's a Kiwi boy, born and raised, come back and know what it is to be a New Zealand Rugby League player, playing for a New Zealand Rugby League team, I think that would be vital. What about this for a bit of a curveball?
I know what's coming.
Oh, okay. All right. No,
go. You just go. I'm not waiting for it.
Adam, if you know what's coming.
I just want to see if I actually know.
Okay.
Crystal ball.
I reckon the Warriors need to make a play, not for RTS money, because that's going for Brandon, but they need to make a play to get Sean Johnson back. SJ halves with Chanel. Unbelievable.
It's already.
We're on the same page.
I think it's.
Have we solved the puzzle?
I think we have.
If we're talking about,
how difficult would that be, though, Adam, to get Sean back to the club?
I think it all depend on the circumstances of what happened before he left. I think I don't quote me on this. I think he obviously had a run-in with maybe the CEO. I don't know if it was Stephen Kearney or the CEO.
Right.
Stephen Kearney's not there, so he doesn't have to build any bridges there. But the conversation will be around him and the CEO, Cameron. So I don't think it's far-fetched. I think it's much probably if we're going to lose, say, if Cody, we don't know what Cody's doing. If we're going to lose someone of Cody's calibre, I think Shaun Johnson should be on the Warriors' radar of, like
Absolutely.
I said, not chucking, obviously, the money Roger is getting, but putting an offer in front of him that either you say, here it is, do you want to come home or not? And I think that's how you do it with Shaun. I think moving away from here, being able to go away and just find himself a little bit, I think more of finding out who he is as a person. I think he's in a really good place and a better place than he was before he left here. I think, being away from family makes you realise, and I'll speak from experience, how hard it is being away from them, your friends, but then it gives you an opportunity to, like I said earlier, to find yourself as a person and know what works for you, understand what your values and your beliefs are, and then just driving those daily. And I think that he's done that. And he seems from the outside and what I've spoken to him about, that he is in a really good place. I think it'd be perfect for these young kids, Paulie Turner, Hayes Perham.
Chanel's still learning as well.
Chanel, like, even I think he's in that role now that he wants, I think what I've seen, that he wants to give back and help young kids and mentor them into the positions they want to be. I think he's past the stage where he wants to be the man, or Shaun Johnson is Shaun Johnson. I think everyone knows who Shaun Johnson is, but I think he's at a stage now where he understands who he is as a person, what his purpose is, and I think it should be an easy one. If the Warriors want to chuck him a little bit out there and see if he's keen on it, I think it'd be fit straight in there, which would help our development in our young halves. And I think they would be excited to have him around, and I think he'll be more willing to give back in that way.
Yeah, from my perspective, it's an absolute no-brainer. Yeah. Get the guy back home, and I think what you were talking about earlier, Adam, the transition from him going from New Zealand to Cronulla, I think he probably underestimated that step and how much of an impact it would have on his life.
Yep.
But then he found his feet in his second season there. It was really disappointing to see him get that injury because he was playing so well.
Yeah.
And I think if he recovers from his injury well, and it's the same Shaun Johnson that was playing in the NRL last year that arrives at the Warriors, then you've just got to get him back. And
he stepped in as captain for a game too, didn't he?
Yeah. Leadership. He knows what it is to be a Warrior, and the leadership role that he can play, a mentor to those young guys. It'd be brilliant to get him back, but it's just that thing of whoever is still at the club, do they want to bury the hatchet and get him back? I think for the sake of the team, they should.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah, and the sake of the young kids that look up to him, that are still at the Warriors now, that can develop into better players off the back of Shaun, would be perfect timing, I think, with obviously everything that's going to happen, mostly at the back end of the year with the movement and players going places and not staying. So it just makes sense. I think whatever happened needs to be fixed, and then they can sit down and let's talk. Well, maybe not talk, just go, this is what we can offer you. And we'd love to have you back because I think this can happen, and you can help us with these kids. And I think he's strong enough to realise that maybe it's not all about money anymore. For him, it's about, like I said, his purpose and what's his purpose of life. And I think from conversation with him, I think his purpose is to obviously give back, and a lot of people in rugby league want to do that. So I think he would want to come home, bring back his family, be around his parents, his mates, his brothers, sisters. I don't even know if he's got a sister, no, maybe.
I think brothers. And then just help these young kids develop into high-profile professional athletes. Well, Adam, thank you so much for joining us today. And like yourself, we can't wait to see what comes of the Warriors season this year as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. Jeez, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm excited as well. And we'll talk all about it on Warriors TV throughout the course of the year. I'm really looking forward to that, eh?
Indeed, starting tomorrow night, actually.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
We better get moving, actually, otherwise we'll be late for our show.
Gonna change now.
Do you know what we're talking about? Because I don't.
Yeah, I've had a quick look.
Okay. You've done more work
You're
than
off to a good start. And as for Goran and I, of course, we'll be back next week putting everything in sport on trial. Hei ko ngā mai.